Okay, so everybody, last slot of the day, lightning talks. We got actually 4 people signed up here. First one would be, rules are 6 minutes, and they will be hard enforced. So 10 seconds to the end of the talk, we're going to stand up and applaud. So it's a very nice and winsome way to cut you off. Okay, first off, Svante.
Oh, what is this? Okay, I call it distributed ODF applications. Where is it? Is it going this way? Okay, so from a bird perspective, right? ODF applications are just an. Can we, Thorsten, I've got a screen problem. Can we switch it that it's fit? Should switch the screen. It's over here. So I'm just a pedantic. Sorry. I'm waiting 6 minutes for a brilliant thing. I just leave it this way. It's good enough for me. Full screen. That's much better. But it's
Works like that?
It should be. Wait a minute. No, then it's.
So the old setup.
Why is it not working?
Like that?
Okay. But geh auf die Page hier genau. Auf Page vielleicht? Fit Page? Fit Page is better. Fit Page is good. Let me switch. That's much better. Okay, sorry. So I've got 1 minute left. Stop. Okay, from a bird perspective. Okay, so we have all our ODF applications, Microsoft Office, ODF Toolkit, and so on. It's always starting with you load the ODF file into yourself, and then the state machine, the user macros, they're adding, deleting, or modifying the document, right? And at any given time, you flush it out, you save it, export it to another valid ODF. So this is, from a bird perspective, everything that LibreOffice is doing, right? Okay? Very abstract, right? Because this is very important, okay? And the next thing is when we have multiple of these state machines working together, like here, and we want to collaborate in a perfect sense, like we do with software, then we need to. You can think of even as not even as 3 LibreOffice versions or Microsoft LibreOffice, but it might be Git repositories. And look, this guy here is adding something, is inserting new second paragraph, and the others are pulling these changes. And this one is just modifying the third paragraph. And this one is just doing nothing, just receive the changes, right? This is our goal. We want to go that direction. So currently, we are not able to receive any of these changes, these high-level changes. We cannot receive some XML snippets because in the internal model, we don't know anything about parts. We can only load everything and drop everything. So this is very, very important if we want to do collaboration, that LibreOffice learns to accept changes. So these changes are just some high-level fused changes. So what I'm going to do is I'm currently working on, I did it this morning, that this ODF XML grammar is a nightmare. It's a very huge text file with a lot of XML nodes. So what I do to answer questions like, what is the minimal document I loaded in a graph database? Because this is exactly what they can do. What is the smallest ODT possible? Are paragraphs nested at all? And all these things. You have to look into this long text file. And this is horrible. So what I did is, you see, using the graph database and visualize it. And this is only the table element with all its child elements, and the red things are the attributes, right? You can even see it from here. So I'm going now to improve this graph because this is just an internal model, and there are a few things that we have to skip this to view better. But we have to extend this grammar. We have to have a better tooling. Otherwise, otherwise we cannot cope this complexity, right? And I think this is the brilliant way to go, using graph databases, annotate more, annotate these changes, because we think XML, now we specified everything, but in our minds, in all the users' minds, the user changes are all the same. You can, in every ODF application, you can add a paragraph, add, delete, a table, and so on. Or like I said, modify, format the paragraph count. And we have to define these things, and we have to define it in an automatic way and specify this way. So we have something like ODF Git repositories, like we have real collaboration where you can, here's my pull request, right? You have your ODF book outside, and as I read it and I said, there's a typo, I've got a pull request to you, and you don't have any ideas, you can internally have ideas, but we should be able to have a collaboration as powerful or even more powerful than the Git. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm having a quick talk about the state of LibreOffice at the City of Munich. First of all, who am I? I work for the Linux team since 2016, and I'm head of development for LibreOffice at the City of Munich, and representing the City of Munich in the OSBA and also in the advisory board of the TDF. And I'm also working on GIMP, Darktable, and a lot of other stuff, but mainly doing packaging. But you may ask, wait, didn't you decide to switch to Microsoft Office? Not really. The government only decided to switch to Windows, and the City Council will decide in November if they are going to switch or if they want to switch or not. So, but even if we switch to Microsoft Office, we need LibreOffice for the next 4 or 5 years, and at least 2 or 3 or maybe 4 releases. And so we are going to continue the development as usual, and also continue our community efforts and the advisory board membership. What have we done in 2017? We started development of a new LibreOffice release based on LibreOffice 5.2. We finally got a new build server, which improved building time a lot, building 4 releases at the same time. We also started development for Volmux 18, which will be released on volmux.net. And JMux did a lot of work upstream on scheduling and bug fixes. And we also sponsored a lot of work at CIB and KDAB, mostly CIB, free rotating images and also the border frames you talked about. Signature lines, Samuel talked about today, and improvements in hyperlinks handling, KDE5 Plasma backend, which is based on GTK3, a lot of work by KDAB in cooperation with CIB, and more than 40 improvements in OOXML, and also many, many more bug fixes and performance improvements. And what is to be done in 2018? We want to improve WebDAV support, polish the KDE5 support for the next Basis Client 6.0 release, which is based on, or which does use KDE5. We also want to roll out LibreOffice 5.2.8. All patches for this version are upstream, and backports are also available on our private branch. We are getting rid of more than 100 internal bugs, fulfilling a lot of feature requests by our users, and finally getting rid of LibreOffice 4.1 plus 300 or something like that backports and patches, which is diverging from 4.1, which is upstream. And we also are going to start development for the next release, which is based on LibreOffice 6.1. We want to make change tracking great again, that it doesn't crash, and but we are going to pay for it ourselves. So more improvements of OOXML support, and also add bug fixing and some user requests. And hopefully we can host a bug squashing party in Munich. Last year we didn't have a chance, but maybe next year. Oh, this year. Okay, that's all. Thanks.
Let's see. Okay, while Thorsten is preparing the website, hopefully, my website.
Website? What website?
I sent you a link to a site. Stop the clock.
It's all on the slides, no worries.
Yeah. Okay. We're talking about GShock. As a organization, we applied for being accepted, and application has been submitted. I have the dates here. Announcement, if we are accepted, will be on the 12th of February, and student application follows between March 12 and 27. So we are hopefully looking for a lot of mentors and, of course, students. But since here are more mentors than students, I am happy to be able to announce, we have some success stories from last year.
That could be you the next year. So that's the successful projects from the last GShock season, and so we've been doing GShock in one way or the other since I think 2008, back in the day with OO Build, and before that I was doing that I think 2 years with Sun at OpenOffice. So roughly, I don't know, let's make it 10 years of GShock. Between 4 and 12 students. So it's a great opportunity both for mentoring, for getting into mentoring, for students. So if you know students in your community or friends and family, encourage them to try GShock. It's a great thing. You get paid for open source work. It looks great on your resume, and you get a T-shirt.
And that's yours?
Is it really? No, the left side is for you.
Left side is mine. Oh, cool. I got the left side and have 2 minutes left. I'm really happy to have the chance to advertise some ideas from the design team. Which is, we have a really large list of topics that could be improved. For instance, change tracking, no question. Something what I would like to highlight is the addition thing. Addition means to integrate our extensions more closely into the program. Integrating means at the place where you use a function, you get the chance to add things from a third place, our extension side, or if you are in a company, you could restrict it to the company extension. For instance, if you are in the templates manager, you can click on the link to add a template. You don't need to go over the site. Should be quite an easy thing, just a framework. It downloads a file from a link, kind of configuration should be behind it, and the dialog. Sounds quite easy to me. Blurry shadows, that's something we really desperately need. We have a really hard shadow. A shape has a shape behind, and that looks really terrible. Blurry shadows makes the draw even better, if it's possible at all. In this sense, we could also improve the lines. If we have some kind of brushes so that lines get looks like scribbled lines, it makes the tool a really great mock-up creation tool. Font handling, I talked this afternoon about font handling. We have some topics around font handling where mentors are welcome. I think students should be really smart if they do work of that. Next one, welcome screen, is 2 minutes left. is not really a welcome screen. We have a problem with user configuration. We are still placing things in the user directory under /4. And everything what the user configured themselves in the past is not overwritten. So if you update, you don't get the updated information. And that's not that good. The idea here behind is that you can show a screen for the updated, when a new release is available, what of the previous configuration should be overwritten, so that the user can say, yes, I accept it. And this dialog could be used as well for welcome and tip of the day.
Right, so this was all the user experience, high-level, great ideas that you can really make an impact with and a big splash. And the right side is a few, sometimes a bit more low-level project ideas, just a random subset of the ideas page. PageMaker, there's a document liberation project for import, domain-specific language for UI testing. This is to make it easier and quicker and nicer to write UI tests. Smart Art that got recently, the last year, had the import finally done. So now it would be great if you could also edit that. And charts and Orcus. Orcus is a special calc filter, import filter. Python support for into LibreOffice Eclipse. And VML import for Writer. VML is part of the OXML standard. Okay, and we're running out of time. So, yeah, just a summary and 2 links to the resources. Please do go out and advertise, encourage people, encourage mentors, or mentor yourself, or be a student yourself. Thanks, everyone. Okay, and we have, I think, Olivier?
I want the computer. All right. Okay, yes. Let's see if we can see. Great. So here we are. I wanted to show you a very little, oh my God, sorry. Yes, I would like to show you, everybody knows in the work of LibreOffice that the help files are quite hard to write. So we had in the past a small extension that allows you to use a writer file and generate a XHP file. But we had some issues with this extension. We have some problems. So I decided to, and one of the issues that you have to review the XML that is generated and sometimes fix each of the points of the tags. So I decided to look into Kate. Kate is the KDE editor, and Kate has a very nice feature, which is some widgets that you can have here. And when you click on the widget, you can generate all the XML and just insert the contents that you want. So I'm gonna just show you how it works. It's very simple. For example, I have this content, which is purely text. And if I want to start generating a specific help file. For example, I come here with this. There is a here new HTTP file. So double click here, and then it generates the XML. I can let me. So I can here in page topic write anything I want. Okay. The page title also I can type anything I want, and the file name is automatically generated. So I want now this heading 1. I want to generate the XML for this heading 1, and I get here a specific widget. Okay, so H1, and it generates. Oh, sorry. So I select, and I double click on H1, and then it generates paragraph, role equals heading, ID. This ID is the most cumbersome activity that we have to do, because each ID has to be unique. Level equal 1, XML, lang, en, US, and your content here. So if you have, for example, here I want to emphasize this, put emphasis into this string. I just double click here, and it inserts the tags. Okay. So, and then I want to transform that into a paragraph, and double click, and you have all the XML things that you need to do. So quite a fast way to quickly get some contents and generate an XHP file. Most of the very boring things that you need to do with the IDs is automatically generated. It's a set of JavaScript that runs in the text, and you can have most of the XHP tags implemented here. So this is what I wanted to show. And you can, there is a page in the wiki where I describe how it works. So no more excuse for missing help pages. Okay, thank you. That was quick.
Okay, thank you very much. That concludes the very last session of the day. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you, all the speakers, for great information, for great talks. Thank you, FOSDEM, for hosting us. And yeah, have a good evening and a great Sunday. I don't know, I think